Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरि बोल। मैं देख रही थी आप कितना बार तक बोल रहे हो।
मैंने कहा कोई बोल नहीं रहा।
Which verse today? Madhya Kand
343 Mataji.
343. Madhya Kand chapter 1, 343rd verse. Okay. तस्मादिकेन मनसा भगवान सात्विका प्रतिशोत्तव्य विपतव्यश्च ध्येय पूज्यश्च दित्यदा. That is the purpose of having. That's the goal of life. कृष्ण माता, कृष्ण पिता, कृष्ण प्राणधना, चरणे धरिया बधु, कृष्ण देह मना. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that as long as there is life and strength in our body, one should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one should render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Krishna is our mother, Krishna is our father. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching to his students, Krishna is your mother, Krishna is your father. Krishna is your life, Krishna is your wealth. Charane dhariya badu. I fall at your feet and beg you to engage your minds in thinking of Krishna. And see the humility expressed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, I beg at your feet, please chant the holy name of Krishna and always think of Krishna. In the Chaitanya Chandravrata, it is stated, Dante nidhaya trinakam padayora nipatya kritva chaka kushatam etad aham bravimi esadhava sakalam eva vihaya durat gauranga chandra charane kurutanu ragam. Taking the straw in my feet, I fall at your feet hundreds of times and implore you with sweet words saying, O noble soul, please throw out everything you have learned and cultivate attachment to the lotus feet of Shri Gauranga. So here also, very nicely it has been said, that fall at the feet of Gauranga. And Gauranga says, fall at the feet of Krishna. I beg you, let the mind be always absorbed in thinking of Krishna. The mind thinks so many nonsensical things. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I beg you to engage your mind in thinking of Krishna. The moment we think of Krishna, other elite thoughts will always go away. So that is why very nicely Srila Prabhupada says, chant the holy name little loudly. Here. And engage your mind in focusing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the only way to drive away all the unwanted anarthas which come in our mind. So many anarthas come, so many. If we really connect our mind to TV, then we will be thinking, oh, what is this? One movie after another movie. So many thought processes are there. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I beg you to engage your mind. Charane dhariya bhagi. I catch your leg. I am catching hold of your feet and begging, Krishna deha mana. Just give your mind to Krishna. Dasya bhave kohe prabhu apana mahima haila prahara duita bunahi seema. So in this way, in the mood of a servant, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in that pastime of a devotee. So in that mood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Mahaprabhu continuously narrated his own glories until half the day had passed. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually chanting the glory of Krishna. Who is he himself? But in the mood of a servant, he is chanting his own glories. So engaging mind in Krishna consciousness means just thinking the ways how we can serve Krishna the best. While chanting, let the mind be focused in chanting. While doing Aarti, the mind should be focused in Aarti. while serving Krishna in different ways, like cooking, sweeping, arranging facilities, the mind should be always focused. If the mind is focused, mind is always small. Then we can experience that actually we are child of Krishna. The moment we start thinking so much, we become very aged. That is why Tukaram Maharaj says, Lahanpadi Dega Deva, let me be always a child, O Lord. It's nice to be a child under your shelter. Let my every samarthya be used in your service. That is, yesterday we saw Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, that how Lakshmana, Lakshmi iti Vardhanaha, Lakshmana. Whatever samarthya person has, he has to use in the service of Lord. So Lakshmana uses all his samarthya in serving Prabhu Ram, who is Dharma Parayanaha. So in this way, whatever samarthya, everybody has some samarthya. It is not that somebody is useless. No, everyone is useful in Krishna consciousness. He may be useless in the material world, but every samarthya is anchored towards Krishna. Then every samarthya is wonderful because Krishna has given that samarthya. Mohitaha paduya savashune ikamane dvirukti karipekaro na dishe na aise vadane. So the students were hearing the explanation given by Caitanya Mahaprabhu. They were hearing with rapt attention. None of them opened their mouth. They did not have daring also to open the mouth. Dvirukti karite karo karo na aise vadane. Se savat Krishner dasa जानीह निश्चय कृष्णयान्र पदायेन सेकी अन्यहय. So it is for certain that everyone is servant of Krishna. And Krishna himself is teaching this. How can a person refute the statement of Krishna? Mamaivansho jivaloke jiva bhutar saratana. Everyone is amsha of Krishna. Now when Krishna himself is saying this, who can refute Krishna? Katakshari bhaya prakashila vishwambhara Chahiya savara mukhalajjata antara. So after a while, Vishwambar manifested his external consciousness. He felt ashamed by looking at everyone's face there. Why he felt ashamed? Because Vishwambar was completely in ecstasy, completely in his internal mood. And when he displays his internal mood to not so-called advanced devotees, then he feels shy. प्रभु बोले धातु सूत्र वाखानिलो हेकेन परुया सकल बरे सत्य अर्थ येन. Then coming back to the external consciousness, Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, did you like my explanation of the sutras? Already complaint had gone. That while explaining sutras, he's only talking about Krishna. Gangadhar Pandit comes and explains also, why are you doing this? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Dhatu is Krishna, Mool root is Krishna. Now in the internal ecstasy, he is only speaking of Krishna. I beg to you, I beg to you. Now students have come to study now. He says, I beg to you, I catch hold of your feet. Please chant the holy name of Lord. Krishna is your Mata, Krishna is your Pita. Now the students were just quiet because they have come to learn Dhatu. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking in ecstasy. So when he opens the eyes, he is like a little bit he's ashamed, or you can say he feels a little shy. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, did you like my explanation of the sutras? Now what the children will say? Student says, perfect. Explanations are correct. They did not have any daring to argue with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ye shabde ye artha tumi karila vakhana kara bape taha koribare pare ana. There is no one arrogant enough to deny the meaning of every word that you have explained. The students are saying, we are not so arrogant. We cannot deny whatever you are speaking. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking from the Shastras, and Shastras always speak truth. So every word of the Shastras is right. And every word is actually knowledge. There is nothing beyond this. Anyatha. There is no knowledge beyond Atma Tattva and Paratattva. Beyond this, any knowledge, whatever we think, something separate from devotion, it is actually Maya. There is nothing separate from devotion. Everything can be connected to Krishna. Ya eteka vakhan tumi saba satyahaya sabe ye uddeshe padi tara arthanaya. Whatever you explained is perfectly true. But the aim for which we study is different. Again, they came back. We are actually studying about dhatu. The aim of our studies is different. Whatever you're saying is perfectly right. The meanings of the words that you presented are presented through Vidvad Rudhi. Now, one is known as Agyana Rudhi. So you have explained Vidvad Rudhi. Vidvad Rudhi means one which is explained by intelligent people. One who is intelligent is Krishna conscious. One who is non-intelligent is not Krishna conscious. So Vidvad Rudhi is the only true eternal path, or is the only actual eternal truth. The meaning of the words that we explain through Agyana Rudhi, through bearing the apparent meaning, is not the actual truth, but a useless interpretation. So whatever interpretation is in Agyana Rudhi is actually useless, anartha. Prabhu bole, कहा देखी हमारा सकल वायवा हमारे करिया छे ये विमला. So Prabhu told, do one thing. Explain whatever I said to you. Repeat it. Maybe I am overwhelmed by the disorder of the nerves. Now, in ecstasy, he is in ecstasy, but Lord says, maybe my nerves are in disorder. That is why I may have spoken something wrong, I think. According to you, everything is right, but aim of your study is something different. So do one thing. Speak. Speak what I have spoken to you. Sutra rupe kona vritti kariye kariye vakhana. Shishya varga bole sabeka harinama. So what was the import of the Vedas? Can you explain? The student said, you have explained the name of Hari in all of them. Sutra vritte tikaya vakhana Krishna matra ujite tomara vakhya keva ache patra. You explained that Krishna alone is the meaning of the sutras, the brief explanations and the commentaries. But who is qualified to understand your explanation? You have done it in brief. We want an elaborate explanation of the sutras, but in brief you say that Krishna is the sutra for everything. And how is it that others are going to understand this? Bhakti rashavane ye tomara asi hai, tahate tomare kabu naragyan nahe. By the transformations you undergo while hearing about devotional service, one can never consider you an ordinary human being. Actually, you're not an ordinary human person. Because the way you're explaining the devotional service, you are not an ordinary person. The first line of the verse is explained as follows. As a result of hearing the previously quoted verses indicating the glories of devotional service to Krishna, you manifested various extraordinary transcendental transformations of ecstatic love. Naragyana. One cannot consider you the product of matter because you are in complete ecstasy. While you are explaining the truth, especially the glories of devotional service, you manifest extraordinary transformations. That itself is a proof that you are not an ordinary person. Prabhu bole, kona rupa dekha amare, paduya sakale bale yata chamatkare. So Lord says, then who am I? In what form do you regard me? Then the students say, paduya sakale bale. You are the excellence in all performance. As the perfection of all excellence also you can say. You are the perfection. That means there are wonderful qualities in that you have perfected. Everything is perfection of your excellence. Ye kampa ye ashru ye va pulaka tumara amarata kotha kabu nahi dekhiyara. We have never seen such tears of love coming from eyes. We have never seen such a quivering, shivering, ye kampa, ye ashru, ye pulaka. You have never seen such hairs standing erect. Such manifestation clearly indicates that you are not an ordinary person. Kali, Kali tumi punthi abe chintaha nagare thakana padila shloka eka vipravare. So when you are teaching us yesterday in the town, Nagare, a pious Brahmana recited one verse. You also heard, and he recited a verse from Bhagavatam. Bhagavata shloka shuni haila murchita sarva ange nahi pranamara vishmita. So when he was chanting Srimad Bhagavatam, you fell unconscious. We were amazed to see that there were no symptoms of life visible in your body. Chaitanya Bhaya Punhaye Kaila Kandana Gangayana Asiya Haile Milana. The way you cried after regaining consciousness, it appears that Goddess Ganga had manifested there. Sheshe Yeva Kampa Asi Haila Tomara Shata Jana Samarthana Hayadhari Bara. So when you were shivering, even hundreds of people could not hold you. Apada Mastaka Haila Pulake Unnati Lala Dharma Dhulaya Pyapita Gauramurti. The hairs of your body were erect, and your golden form was smeared with your own saliva, sweat, and dust. Such was an ecstatic symptoms, transformations of your body. Apurva Bhavaya ye saba dekhe yata jana sabei balena ye purusha narayana. So whoever saw you, they were struck with wonder, and they said, this person is Narayana himself. Keha bole Vyasa Shuka Narada Prahlada Tana Savar Samyogya Ye Mata Prasada. So somebody said, the mercy he has received is comparable to Prahlada, Narada, Vyasaha, Shukdev Goswami. सबे मेली धरी लेना करिया शकति शकति कृष्ण के तुम्हारा सी भाइया है रामती. सबे मेली धरी लेना करिया शकति. So with all their shakti, with all their strength, they were trying to hold you still. And then afterwards you regained external consciousness. ये सब वृत्तांत तुम्ही किचुई ना जाने आर कथा कही ताहा चित्त दिया सुना. So when you went in complete ecstasy, you do not even remember the incidents. Now please hear attentively what we have to say. So you are not an ordinary person. That is what we want to say to you something. Dina dasha dharikara अतेक व्याख्यान सर्वशास्त्रे शब्दे कृष्ण भक्ति कृष्ण नाम. Since 10 days you are only teaching us devotional service to Krishna, and the holy name of Krishna is the meaning of every word of every shastra. दश दिन धरी आजी पाठ वादहय कहते तुम्हारे सबे वासी बड़ा भय. For the last 10 days, our studies have been held up, and we were afraid to inform you of this. We came to study with you, and 10 days you're only speaking of devotional service. Now you have the studies in the school. If the child, you are taking tuition for your child, or you're teaching the child comes to the school, and the teacher is only speaking of devotional service and says that Krishna is the source of everything. Only 10 days, only this. Then actually the parents will complain. Huh? Hey, you're not teaching any subject. You're only teaching about Krishna. Shabdera ashesha artha tumara gochara ye vakhana hasita ke dibe uttara. you know the unlimited meanings of every word, then how we have the power even to contradict even your light-hearted statements or comments? So very clearly it is said here, the first line of this verse is explained as follows: you alone are the greatest and the most expert in linguistic literature. You are the most experienced person to explain the meanings of the words through various brief explanations under the category of yoga, rudhi, gauni, mukhya, lakshanaha, abhidaha. So about it, very clearly it has been given. Tomorrow we'll read this. What is Shabda Vrittihi? So all this is tomorrow we'll read. Let us continue here. Prabhu bole dashadina pathavadayaya tabeta amare sabe kahite yaya. Oh, your studies were held up for 10 days. You should have informed me. See how chatur is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Paduya sakala bale vakha uchita Satya Krishna sakala shastrera samhita. Students said, no, your explanations are very correct. The purport of all the scriptures is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Complete transformation. They are not even daring to ask any doubt, because again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come to the same conclusion. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Performing devotional service is the only way to attain success. And this is the real study, essence of all scriptures. And it is our fault that we do not accept it. Now the students are saying this. Adhyayana yahi se sakala shastra sara tabe ye nalai dosh ama sabakar. It is our only fault. Mule ye vakhana tumi ज्ञातव्यः से tahate na laye chitta nija karma doshe. Whatever you have said, that is the truth. That is the only knowledge worthy of the name. It is due to our own misdeeds we are not able to accept it. Sometimes you think devotional service, what to do? Whether should I perform devotional service, or whether should I do materialistic activities? Seeing Bheda in this, that itself is Maya. Seeing something different from Krishna is Maya. Every activity is for Krishna. Although the only aim, intention, purport of all the scriptures is to understand Krishna, due to our own offenses, we do not accept your scriptural explanations based on Krishna. Actually, our only goal is to realize the meaning of the words in the way you explain and have explained. But due to the fault of misfortune, our minds are incapable of grasping the true purport of the essence of all the scriptures as explained by you. The Lord was pleased to hear the students' words, Paduyare vakye tushta haila thakura. Kahite lagila kripa karya prachura. So out of compassion, he started speaking as follows. So what he speaks, that will be tomorrow. So Lord is very pleased with the talk of his students, because his students have understood the conclusion of everything. So any doubts in this? No doubts. So come in the evening. Yesterday, many devotees were there. Few devotees were absent yesterday. Those who are absent, please come. Relish Ramayana. Today is the most important shloka of Ramayana. Hare Krishna. Stop here. We also want devotees to come and help in the cooking seva.